ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another exciting, titillating, orgasmic edition of Radical Rockin' Record Reviews. And here I am, guys, finally back. Wild Ride bassist Mick Watkins. And today, guys, I'm going to talk to you about an album that came out about a week and a half ago, okay, guys? And this album, once it was announced, I went on kissonline.com, put in the pre-order for the, whatever it's called, the Clear and Bone 180 gram vinyl set. Got my ass on amazon.com, put in the pre-order for the CD, and man, I couldn't wait for the release. It's been out for about a week and a half now, the release. The first, and hopefully many, in a series of Kiss. I'm talking about Kiss off the Soundboard Tokyo 2001. Crazy to think that this was 20 years ago. On the farewell tour, on the Australian and Japan legs of the farewell tour, it was announced. I remember sitting with my dad, and he's reading the paper, and he went to the features section where it talks about music and movies and shit, and I remember him saying, "Hey Mick, look at this," and he hands me the paper, and like I had like a giant section, like a giant write-up about it, which I wish I would have kept, but I didn't, of course. But it talked about how drummer Peter Criss had left the group over contractual disputes and everything. So I was like, oh my god, I was like, that's fucking crazy. Peter Criss is leaving Kiss, right? Kind of like dead smack in the middle of the farewell tour, or at least he completed the US leg. But anyway, so right then and there, I had a feeling. I was like, they need to get Eric Singer back. Without a doubt, that's what they did. So this album right here, Kiss Off the Soundboard Tokyo 2001, was recorded with the very short-lived and just ultra kick-ass lineup of course, the Star Child, Paul Stanley, the Demon, Gene Simmons, the Space Ace, my man, the Space Ace, Ace Frehley, and Eric Singer. Now, I remember whenever Eric was talked about first joining the band, there was a lot of talk on kissonline.com. There's a lot of talk between fans. Is Eric gonna have a new makeup design and persona? Or are they gonna put him in the Catman makeup? And in years past, I've heard Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley both talk about that. Eric Singer, at first, it was talked about that Eric Singer was possibly gonna have his own original makeup design, which would have been badass. And it would have been the Hawk. That would have been fucking cool on stage, seeing the Star Child, the Demon, the Space Ace, and the Hawk rock out. But in the end, it was decided upon, and then that decision kind of, for me, that Eric Singer would continue with the Catman makeup, Peter Criss's makeup. But seeing that this was the farewell tour, Kiss was supposed to stop at the end of that. So, for Eric going on and playing maybe a couple weeks to a month in the Catman makeup at the end of the farewell tour, I guess that's cool, because then the band's going to hang it up. But as we know, that wasn't the case, and blah, 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 blah. We'll save that issue for a complete different episode. But anyway, let's talk about this recording, Kiss Off the Soundboard Tokyo 2001. Back when this happened and Kiss announced that Eric Singer was going to be playing with Paul, Gene, and Ace, I was ecstatic, dude, because it was like a mixture of the Revenge lineup mixed with the original lineup, and I just thought that was so fucking killer and badass. But nonetheless, let's talk about it. Tokyo Dome, Tokyo, Japan, March 13th, 2001. Okay, here's the CD. And today, like I like to do a lot with new album releases from bands that I love, we're gonna take a look at the Ultra. Dude, this thing is heavy. This is a big ass box set. Check us out. We're gonna take a look at the vinyl version. Of course, I'm a fucking Kiss geek, dude. I love Kiss. I gotta have this CD to listen to in my car and a jam right here on my stereo, and then I gotta have the vinyl in order to just collect it and spin on the turntable whenever I'm feeling like it. Whenever I'm feeling a little nutty. But anyway, got the vinyl version. And that's what everybody really gives a shit about, the vinyl version. So we're going to take a look at this. We're going to do a little unboxing. And I chose to get the 3 LP 180 gram clear and bone vinyl set. Featuring epic performances, Detroit Rock City, Shout It Out Loud, God of Thunder, and 18 more. And let's just go ahead and say it, that I totally agree that these are epic performances, okay? Epic performances. The show kicks off, side 1, Detroit Rock City. Killer rendition of Detroit Rock City. You know, you can, because my first Kiss show that I ever saw live was April 29, 2000 here in Louisville, Kentucky on the Farewell Tour. And, you know, dude, I thought they were killer. I thought they were completely killer. I loved it that night. I've since then watched some bootleg videos of the show, and dude, they were on. But I also remember opening night of the Farewell Tour. I think it was in Phoenix, Arizona at the Sky Pavilion or some shit. VH1 did an opening night episode where they aired the first 3 songs of the show and the tour. And the host was Ted Nugent, and it was completely insane. I think you can watch that on YouTube, so check it out. But man, I remember sitting at home that Friday night watching it, and man, the energy. Paul was pretty kick-ass, Gene was kick-ass, Ace was kick-ass, but Peter, dude. Peter was playing so slow, and he looked like he was falling asleep. Get up, everybody's gonna leave their seat. Get down, and I was like, dude, Peter, what the fuck? So that, I was like, man, Peter's not doing too good. But then, like I said, I seen him April 29th in Louisville, Kentucky on the Farewell Tour, and they rocked it. Then they did that One Last Kiss pay-per-view event from East Rutherford, New Jersey. It might have been, I think, in June or July of that year. And dude, honestly, that's one of my favorite recorded Kiss performances, is that the Last Kiss event. You know, they fucking slayed. I'd say my top 3 favorite Kiss filmed performances, footage, definitely Winterland 74, I believe, Cobo Hall 76, and I gotta go with East Rutherford, New Jersey, One Last Kiss in 2000. But anyway, I digress. Let's get into this. So yeah, disc 1 kicks open with Detroit Rock City. Excellent rendition. Then they go into Deuce, which is playing in the background, and automatically you can just hear the tempos being brought up, the energy being brought up by Eric Singer. Back there thrashing it in the Catman makeup. And you can hear it in Gene's performance. You can hear it in Ace's performance and Paul's performance. That I really do think Eric Singer lit a fucking fire underneath those guys' asses. Dude, you know, we'll say that opinion I was going to say for the end of the program. But anyway, Deuce, Shout It Out Loud. Then they go into something that I wish they would have played whenever I saw them. Talk to Me. Talk to Me from the Unmasked album, Ace on vocals. I checked it out, you know, because Talk to Me was actually a pretty big hit over in parts of Europe. I know it was a top 40 hit in Australia. I think it even got to like in the top 10 somewhere over in Europe, maybe Sweden or somewhere. It was kind of crazy. I was reading about it the other day. Should have wrote it down in my notes. But anyway, yeah. So Talk to Me sounds good. Side 2, they go into I Love It Loud. Killing it. Firehouse gets a good rendition. Do You Love Me? Calling Dr. Love. Heaven's on Fire. Now, one of the things that I think is kind of hilarious about this album is that on this album, Paul Stanley. Now, I love Paul Stanley, okay? I love Paul Stanley. He is one of my all-time favorite singers, back in his prime, back in the day, and one of my all-time favorite songwriters, all right? But I have to be honest, I'm not that crazy about Paul Stanley as a frontman. He's very, in my opinion, now all the Kiss fans, all the Kiss Army are going to start throwing shit at the camera and stuff. I'm just going to go ahead and say it, that I find a lot of Paul Stanley's stage raps and his stage presence very cringy, man. You know, and on this album, I think it's before or after Heaven's on Fire, around that, he says something that I've never heard him say before, and it's so odd and just awkward. He goes, "This is the sound of the animal. Oh!" I'm like, what? Paul, what are you talking about? Hilarious. So Paul's, what do you want to call it? Paul's campiness is very amped up on this album. And I mean, I love the performances of the band and the songs. It's killer. I love this release. But Paul Stanley's raps and antics on stage are some of probably his god honest worst, in my opinion. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, you get a killer rendition of Heaven's on Fire. Side 3 opens up with Let Me Go Rock and Roll, which I love. Like during like the solo part, Gene says, "Eric Singer." And then when Ace starts ripping into the solo, he goes, "Ace Frehley." Love that part. That's cool. Side 4 opens up with Psycho Circus, which was pretty killer at the time. They do a great rendition. Ace totally kills that solo. I love Eric's drums on that. Then they go into Lick It Up. Great. Lick It Up / bass solo. That's when Gene starts spitting the blood. All that shit, you know. God of Thunder, okay? God of Thunder. And here's a critique. God of Thunder / drum solo. Now, this is a critique that I've heard from some fans. They're like, you know, God of Thunder's cool off the Soundboard Tokyo 2001, but I don't like the drum solo in the middle of it. I think that's a badass feature because you know what? That's how they did it on Alive 2, you know, and I'm pretty sure that's how they did it maybe from the Destroyer tour, Rock and Roll Over tour, and Love Gun tour, the Alive 2 tour. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure the Alive 2 tour for sure. But yeah, I mean, people don't like it, and I'm like, but I guarantee you love the Alive 2 version of God of Thunder, don't you? Because Peter just fucking kills it on that drum solo. And Eric Singer does a great killer drum solo on that as well, on this. So God of Thunder / drum solo wrap up side 4. Side 5 opens up with Cold Gin. Cold Gin's probably one of my standout tracks on this. Not only is it probably a top 5 favorite Kiss song of mine, but I love how I think they started around the Reunion tour and then kept it going during Reunion, Psycho Circus tour, and the Farewell tour, where Gene would sing the first verse and then Ace would sing the second, and then together they'd all like come in on the chorus. I thought that was pretty awesome, and I love it. Ace rips it up on the jam out at the end. Killer playing by Ace. Ace Frehley's on fire on this. He also does a really good extended solo on Shock Me, which I really, really dig. Okay, so then you got, after Cold Gin, 100,000 Years. And yeah, during that, Paul Stanley does another really weird thing. In the middle of the little drum breakdown, I think it's during this, but another part where like Eric's doing the drum fill in the middle, and he goes, "Do you feel right?" Bow. I think it's in that where Paul Stanley goes, "You guys want some t-shirts?" And for what I can find out, you know those guns that shoot out t-shirts? Paul Stanley got one of those and started started shooting off t-shirts into the audience. And I heard that didn't last very long because insurance purposes, and you didn't want to black somebody's eye or bloody somebody's nose with a Kiss t-shirt. Might want to add a $40 Kiss t-shirt at the time. So yeah, then you get that, and Love Gun closes off side 5. You got side 6. 6 sides. When this vinyl's spinning, that's going to be a lot of up and down, getting out of my chair and shit, which is kind of going to be a pain in the ass right now, but you know, I'll fill you in on that later. But then you got side 6, kicks off with I Still Love You, which is not like the whole band playing it. Paul Stanley kind of mixes the intro of Black Diamond into I Still Love You, and he just plays that by himself electrically and sings like the first verse and the first chorus or something. It's really cool. I think it would have been rad as all fuck if they could have done that song with the full band. And because Ace is such a awesome blues pentatonic lead guitar player, I think Ace could have done a very awesome rendition of I Still Love You. So that's cool. And then they go in from that, full band rejoins. They go into Black Diamond. Great version of that. Then I Was Made for Loving You. then they close the show out with a chorus. I wanna rock and roll all night. And party every day. Oh, let me hear ya. Let me see y'all's hands. Yeah, yeah. That's my best Gene Simmons impersonation. So overall, Kiss off the Soundboard Tokyo 2001. I've listened to it 4 times now. 4 times in its entirety. And I have to say, I really love it. It's not perfect, It's not perfect. Hang on. Let me take a swiggy of my Nestle Pure Life. Hang on. Cheers. Cheers, mates. But anyway, it's not a perfect performance. I mean, it's got its warts. It's got all that. But you know what? That's the beauty of it is because, well, here's a critique that I've seen some people give online forums and podcasts. They say, well, I don't really care for it because some of Ace's solos are not as loud as I would like. And I agree with that to a certain extent. But some of Ace's solos aren't as loud as I would like them. Some of the vocals aren't as loud. Some of the choruses aren't really sang that great. Some of the people miss their vocal cues. And I'm like, well, guys, that's what you get when you get a soundboard recording, okay? Like it or not, this is what Kiss sounds like actually as a real live band, And I think they sound fucking fantastic, dude. I mean, I think they kill it. Yes, some of the critiques people have said, I mean, yeah, it's true. But if you want a flawless live album, then you're going to have to go for Kiss Alive, which, as I've said before, is my all-time favorite rock and roll, hard rock, heavy metal album of all time. You're going to have to go after Kiss Alive or Kiss Alive 2 or Kiss Alive 3 especially, where those albums were, taken back into the studio, had parts fixed, had flubs fixed, had guitars punched in, maybe added some bass or some drums, and I know lots of vocals are redone because when Kiss is up there and Paul Stanley's shaking his ass and shit, and Gene Simmons is over there fucking his bass, and Ace is stumbling around, girlie, wow, and Peter's up there, or Eric Singer in this case, jamming, you're gonna have some flubs to put on a great show for the audience. So that's my thing to say to you all. Everybody's like, it's not that great. It's missing that dude. This is actually what Kiss really fucking sounded like in 2001. And honestly, I mean, in 2021, 2020, Kiss doesn't sound that good anymore. I'm going to go ahead and say it because we know Paul Stanley's vocal limitations nowadays, and the band had to tune from a half step down to tune down to D, which I'm not really that crazy about, but it is what it is. But yeah, this is what Kiss sounded like on the farewell tour. So you take it or leave it. I think Gene Simmons nails it on this performance with his kind of growly, nasty demon voice. Oh yeah! And his just distorted ass, nasty bass tone sounds killer on this. All of Ace's leads are pretty much spot on. He's got a couple flubs up here and there, but you get that classic Ace Frehley bluesy pentatonic lead guitar, his awesome guitar tone. Paul Stanley's voice was still kind of at a peak. I think this was like the end. I think this was like the tail end of his last peak. But Paul Stanley's voice on this album is pretty killer, and you can tell Paul Stanley sings really, really high on this album, and I think he was just pushing because he thought this was the last tour, and that these were some of the last performances. So you can tell that Paul Stanley's pushing the fuck out of his voice and singing a lot higher than what he normally did, because he was going, dude, a couple last shows, last leg of the tour, go big or go home, go high or go home, and Paul Stanley fucking did it. And Eric Singer plays like a beast, like the fucking cat man, I think on this album you get a good mixture of Eric Singer's kind of Revenge, Alive 3 style of drumming, mixed with a little bit of his rendition of what he thought Peter would have played. So nonetheless, killer release, really dig it. The only thing I really don't care for too much is some of Paul Stanley's stage raps are some of his worst and most embarrassing and just full out campy. So whenever I hear him, I kind of laugh. Because like I said, I love Paul Stanley as a singer and a songwriter. His music is so important to my life. But I'm not that crazy about Paul Stanley as a frontman. And I, for sure as hell, don't think he's one of the greatest frontmen of all time. Now, he was back in the 70s. I love Paul, from like Alive to the Dynasty tour, Unmasked tour, whatever, Creatures of the Night. But I think once like the 80s started going on, he started kind of getting really campy and just obnoxious. I think he was trying to kind of be like David Lee Roth a little bit. But David Lee Roth was that kind of frontman naturally, to where I think Paul Stanley might have tried a little too hard. Just my opinion. In the comment section down below, tell me how much you think my opinion sucks and all that shit. But anyway, so let me grab my trusty guitar pick and let's find the slit. Find the slits on this release. Slit's easy to find. Take my trusty guitar pick, Fender Heavies, what I use in the band Wild Ride for our performances, and when I'm just jamming. Speaking of jamming, I've been actually learning a lot of Kiss songs on bass. Ooh, look at this. Comes off very easily. Past couple weeks I've been learning some new Kiss tunes just to kind of jam with, you know, and play with the band a little bit and play with myself, you know. All good times. But yeah, check it out. There it is, out of the shrink wrap. It's just a very plain kind of cardboard sleeve. Once again, I've heard fans going, I don't like the album cover, it sucks. Well, dude, this is supposed to be an official, unofficial bootleg. You know, and back in 01, especially, nowadays bootleggers put some badass products together that sometimes are better than a lot of what the bands actually put out. But I think, you know, just the classic, image and the thought of what a bootleg album looks like is like this. Just a fucking stamp and some, you know, just some simple shit. So for what it is, yes, I would have loved a cool, alive look with the band on the front album cover with fire and shit. Eric Singer back up there jamming with Ace. Thought that'd be awesome. But for what it is, I think it's pretty fucking neat. And I'm just glad that Kiss is finally giving us a new product with music on it. It isn't new music. It isn't a new studio album like I'd love to have. But at least they're giving us something musical. Fucking CDs and records. Finally, we're getting new music from Kiss. As opposed to like fucking shower curtains and toilet paper and Hello Kitty dolls and all that crap, you know, which, as everybody knows, if you watch my past videos, I'm not really that much of a fan of. But anyway, there's the front, there's the spine, there's the back. Pretty cool. It's got all the songs on it, and let's check it out. It's not a gatefold, just a very thick package. That's what she said. So yeah, then you pull it out. Well, you know, for instance, this isn't in order. But yeah, so there's side 5 and side 6. There's the front of the dust sleeve. There's the back, nothing on it. And let's check it out. Let's do the little unveiling. Oh, I like this. Because cardboard can be kind of scratchy on CDs. Can kind of scratch CDs and vinyl. So then look at that. You pull it out. Very good. Thank you, Universal. Thank you, Kiss. Thank you, Music on Vinyl. Whatever. Thank you guys for including a paper sleeve to protect the vinyl record a little bit more. I wish the CDs kind of had this, but they don't. Might have to buy some. So anyway, here's the unveiling of the record. Clear and bone vinyl. You're seeing it for the first time, as I am. Here we go, guys. It's like a surprise. Da, 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 da. Pretty cool, yeah. Pretty cool. Check it out, man. Pretty fucking cool. Reminds me of a couple things. To me, it looks like a, well, because I'm a fat ass, it reminds me of like a root beer float. Well, maybe not root beer because it's not brown, but you get what I'm saying. It looks like there's something floating in it. Looks like a root beer float. Or it kind of looks like a big thing of jism is just kind of splattered on the middle of the vinyl. But yeah, this is very cool. You know, like I've said before, I'm a fan of colored vinyl, splattered vinyl, colored vinyl, more than I am of the black vinyl, just because I like to collect, and I don't know, I like something different, you know. So yeah, there you go. Check it out. Pretty freaking cool. I dig it, man. And I bet it's going to sound killer. So yeah, I'm not gonna pull out all 3 records because I'm sure they all kind of look the same, but you get the gist of it, right? So yeah, so there's that. I'm gonna try to put them in order. Hang on. Ugh. Maybe I'll open up one more for you. Okay, here's LP number 2. Let's check it out. LP number 2. Check it. Oh yeah, now see, now this one's kind of cooler looking. Check that out. It's got more of the root beer float jism stain on there. Pretty freaking cool. I like that a lot better. So check it out, guys. There you go. That is my short review and the unboxing of the Kiss off the Soundboard Tokyo 2001 vinyl set. I want to thank you guys for joining me on the first episode of Radical Rock and Record Reviews for the first time in a while. Sorry I've been away. I had some personal stuff go on. If you didn't know, I was unfortunately involved in a stage incident at Wild Ride's April 30th show. Can't really go into exactly what happened, but I was injured. I actually broke my ankle. If you can see I got my cast on. I broke my ankle, and it's been a long process of healing and shit. So I just want to thank you guys for sticking with the channel. And the subscriptions have actually kept going up, and the views are doing really good on the older videos. So I want to thank you guys so much for checking it out today, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. And we will be back with more shortly. So until then, check out my band Wild Ride. Here's our new t-shirts available on Bandcamp. Well, www.wildride.bandcamp.com. This is the Gasoline Alley One Wild Night t-shirts. Check out my band Wild Ride, WYLDRYDE on Facebook. Official Wild Ride on Instagram. Check us out on Spotify. Our debut City Straits. And all that fun stuff. Guys, I will see you later. Coming up soon, we're going to have some pretty kick-ass ranking videos. Okay? I think the next one I'm going to have to dedicate to my buddy Edwin Canastrossi. You know what that means, Edwin. Awesome. So guys, until the next episode, be good at what you do. Love your family, love your friends, kiss your babies on the forehead, love your pets, whatever. And I will see you all on the next one. Keep rocking. Peace, guys.